Hey guys, today's video is going to be a super fun one. This is a tag that was created by my friend Sheila. Her channel is Inside Beauty with the Old Girl, and she is amazing. I think we found each other, I think I found her channel, I can't remember for sure, like about a year or so ago, and we quickly became just very fast friends. I absolutely adore her. Something I absolutely adore about her channel is she always does an inside beauty tip. And so it's not a beauty tip for the outside, it's a beauty tip for the inside, like it says. And I think she just does such a beautiful job with that and helping us all to recognize the beauty that is within us. And sometimes maybe not even so much recognize it, but like bring it out. Like let's share that beauty with people. That's what's truly beautiful, is what's inside of us. And everybody has something to share, no matter who you are or what you've been through. Honestly, people who've been through a lot of times have a lot more to share. And so I love that she celebrates that about people, and I just absolutely adore her. And she had done a video a few weeks back where she shared 7 weird / strange things about herself. And it had such good reception and feedback that she decided to turn it into a tag. And I think that was a fantastic idea because it's just fun to kind of hear. We all have quirks. We all have goofy things that, you know, we sometimes even realize might even be ridiculous, but they are part of what makes us who we are, you know, like just things about our personality. I do want to say that she, in her last video, like for this tag, she mentioned about, which I will link to that video right here actually, because you're definitely going to want to check out what she had to say. And you can go from that one to her very first one too, because she both times gives 7 strange, weird things about her. And but she talks about how character is much more important than what our quirks and our, you know, stuff like that, our weird things are. It's about our character and who we are in our hearts and how we treat other people. And I could not agree with that more. So you are going to love her. Sheila is awesome. She is all about being true to who you are. I love that she wears shorts and leg warmers and cowboy boots. Like, she just wears whatever the heck she wants to, and she looks fabulous doing it because you can tell she feels good about who she is, and that's how we should all feel. So without further ado, let me get into my 7 weird, strange things about me. Now, I want to say I was having actually kind of a hard time making a list of 7. Not because there aren't 7, I'm sure there's a million, but I just like couldn't quite think of them. I mean, there were some things right off the top of my head that I'm like, okay. So I kind of asked my family, and both of my sons, like 2 of my sons were like, the one isn't home, so I couldn't ask him, but they were like, I don't know. I'm like, there's really nothing you can say about me that's weird that I do. And then my middle son goes, well, you're really weird about how you decorate for every holiday like crazy. And I'm like, that's not a weird, strange thing. Like, so, I mean, I was glad, I guess, that my family couldn't come up with those things, except for my husband. He did give some, so I'll let you know. And I have to agree with him on what he said. So pretty funny. So the first one, some of these you're going to be like, she's a grouchy. And in some ways I can kind of see it, but at the same time, it's just truly how I feel. The very first one is the sun irritates me most of the time. Like, I love dark, dreary, gloomy days. Thunderstormy days, rainy days are my absolute favorite. And snow, a very close second. I love just that when the day feels dark and it's relaxing to me. It's peaceful to me. I do have some anxiety issues sometimes. And for some reason, when I wake up and the sun is shining, like my whole room's lit up with the sun, it puts me in like an irritable mood. That's terrible. So I have to like right away check myself and be like, knock it off. Like, you can't do that, you know, whatever. And then I'm fine. But for the most part, the only time I want it to be sunny is like if I'm at the beach or something like that. Like, I know that is totally the opposite of most people. Most people thrive on sunshine and need that. I'm the kind of person that if there are too many days in a row of sunshine, I start to get very irritable and depressed. And so I am like the flip-flop of the people who get depressed and stuff from gloomy weather. So just kind of funny, but that's who I am. That's what I mean, you know, hey. Number 2, the house can be an absolute disaster, total mess everywhere around me. But if someone has moved something of my decor, like on my fake fireplace or wherever, just something, if something is moved, it will drive me nuts. And I'm like, who moved this? And like my husband will be like, seriously? Like all this stuff that's going on around here, that's what you notice? It just is. Like, there's certain things that like they have that place that I put them. And if it's out of place, that drives me crazy. But everything else can be a total disaster around me. Not like I like living in a disaster, but it's just, I don't know, like stuff like that. Like, they're always like, really, Mom, you know? Number 3, I would say is I cannot leave the house without some kind of makeup on, something done to my hair. If I do, I'm so self-conscious and uncomfortable the whole entire time. I cannot even stand it. Like the one night, it was really late at night, and it was actually right at the beginning of when all the dreaded was starting. And my husband had heard rumors that schools and stuff were going to start closing down. And so we decided late that night to go to Walmart and grab groceries and stuff and kind of stock up, which was a very smart idea because the next day panic settled in. But so I was like, oh gosh, like I had just taken a shower and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't have makeup on, and he's like, who cares? We're going to Walmart, like whatever, which it doesn't matter where it is to me, but I got what he was saying. So I went without makeup on. I could not stand it. Like when we're in like the freezer food section and there's like the glass doors and I could see myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like why did I do this? It's just something for me. I just feel so much better when I have, and doesn't have to be like a super full face of makeup, but I just feel like I have to have something, and I can't just have my hair be ratty and scraggly or I'm just super uncomfortable the whole entire time. Like I cannot even think about anything else. Like I'm just like, ugh, like, and it's not in a, like I need to look a certain way. Like it's not like a vain thing. It's just makeup and stuff for me, and like doing my hair, it's like a comfort thing for me. It's to me part of going out somewhere, like whether it's to the post office or wherever. Like when I'm leaving the house, that's what I want to do. So there's that. So one of the ones my husband brought up was my anxiety toward making phone calls or pumping gas, anything like that, like to call an order like a pizza or something. No, thank you. Like somebody else do it. One of the greatest inventions to me has been since they started where you can order things online and then just go pick it up. Like that's fabulous to me. There is something for me about like making phone calls to places or appointments or anything like that. I just hate it. I always have. When I hear the sound, it's funny, my husband and I were just talking about this. Somebody's cell phone made, like it was a ring that was like, standard like corded phones. And I said, that sound makes me so anxious because it makes me think of times in my life where I worked places or wherever where I had to answer the phone, and I always hated it so much. And so it's just something weird for me that I don't know, like pumping gas and stuff. That one for me is like the fear of not knowing how that particular pump works, because it has happened before where you go somewhere and it's like a weird thing. And I had someone come over the speaker and be like, ma'am, you need to whatever, which to me was like mortifying. Who cares? I don't know. But like, it's just stuff like that. It's more of a self-conscious thing, I guess. And so it makes me like not want to do those things at all. So yeah, yep, that's me. The next one, I'm obsessed with like some food type things that a lot of people are like, ew, like think are so gross. I don't have many food type things that I don't like besides cooked mushrooms. Like I will eat white mushrooms like in a salad, or even just like by the handful. When I worked at a pizza place, I would grab them out of the thing and eat them. Fine. As soon as it touches a pan, I want nothing to do with it. The smell of it makes me gag. The texture, the flavor, disgusting of cooked mushrooms. It's like the one thing that I just cannot do. I just can't. So in saying that, I like a lot of things that other people are like, ew, that's gross. I'm obsessed with beets. I love beets. Like, give me a can of sliced beets and I'm a happy girl. Not so much pickled beets. I just want straight up beets. And my favorite way to eat them is with feta cheese and blue cheese dressing. I don't know. My husband's like, oh, like the smell. It's like dirt, and then like the pungent smell of like the blue cheese and the feta. There is something about it that is so dang delicious to me. And sometimes I like it with some cucumber in it. Sometimes I like it like spinach salad in with it. But I will just eat, I'll dump a can of beets and some feta and some blue cheese dressing and eat that like so happily. So that, I guess, is kind of weird. I don't think it is, but apparently a lot of other people do. Number 6, my husband makes fun of me for this, is there are like certain songs and stuff that make me feel like angry, like actually incite an anger inside of me. And like, he sometimes will think it's funny to sing them because of course then they'll get stuck in my head. And I'm like, it is not funny. Like, I'm being dead serious right now. It makes me so irritated. Like, it puts me in a bad mood, which is so obnoxious and ridiculous. Trust me, I understand, but I cannot help it. One of those songs, I hate to even say it because then it is going to be in my head, is like the Alan Jackson Tall Tall Trees. I cannot stand that song. I cannot stand it. To me, like, and people are like, oh, it's cute, it's whatever. No, to me, it's like really corny and irritating. Like, there's something about it that just makes me want, I mean, I could like lose my mind. And so there are other songs like that. I'm not going to bring them up because I don't really want to have them all swirling in my head. But there are certain things like that that I'm just like, it's not a joke. It's not funny. I know that sounds ridiculous, but please don't bring it up to me because it's not funny to me. Like, it makes me really irritated. So I don't know. Anybody else, please tell me if you're like that, because it's not just a matter of like, oh, it's a catchy song that gets stuck in my head. It's like the song itself irritates me. Do you know what I'm saying? Anybody? Am I by myself on this? I mean, it is strange, weird things about us, right? So I guess if it's strange and weird, that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, and then number 7 is I obsess about worrying about smelling bad. Okay, so I have never had BO in my life. And I'm not just saying that, like, there are people, I know people in my life who are like, oh, I never have BO, and they do have BO, and they just can't smell it apparently. I don't know. But I literally have never, you could ask anybody who knows me, any of my family, anybody. I just, for some reason, my armpits sweat, but they don't make a smell. Thankfully. I'm very thankful for that. But for some reason, so there's my husband, if I get where like I have a cold and can't smell, or like when I had the dreaded and stuff and couldn't smell, I was like constantly like, do I smell bad? Do I smell bad? And my husband's like, why would you smell bad? You've never smelled bad a day in your life. Like, why would you think you smell bad? And like, I do not leave the house without showering. I am a very clean person. That just absolutely freaks me out, the thought of smelling bad. And so it's funny because like, yeah, like him or like my kids will be like, Mom, you've never smelled bad. Why would you smell bad right now? And I'm like, I don't know, but just not being able to smell makes me worry that I do smell and I just don't realize it. I have no idea. But like, I'm sure we've all been in situations where you've been around somebody who has a smell, whether it's BO or just like a dirty body, like doesn't take care of themselves kind of smell. And I feel so, I have one of those personalities, well, I'm an empath for sure. And so I feel like embarrassed for that person. Like I'm uncomfortable for them. I'm whatever. So I think because of that, and it being such a thing that, like certain places you go, like we, went to Cedar Point twice this year. And the one day it was pretty warm, which it's a amusement park if you don't know. And like we'd be standing in line with people, and there were some people who they smelled so bad that it was like hard standing in line with them because you're like, oh my goodness. Like, and so I don't know. So I'm just very afraid of smelling bad. I like obsess about it. Like, so I always am wearing like lotions and perfumes or whatever. And like I said, I don't leave the house without showering. Like I am just very conscious of that. So maybe it's weird, but I shouldn't ever smell. So that's good, right? So those were the 7 weird, strange things about me that I came up with. I will add in a little bonus one that when I was making this list, I had a pad of paper that I was writing on here and, whatever. And I have certain pens that are my pens. I only write in black ink, so maybe that is the thing. Like I hate blue ink for some reason, and I'm not into like colored ink either. I want a black pen. Just give me a black pen. And so I use like real simple black Bic pens that I keep a stash of. Those are my pens. So I have them like in like different notebook things that I have that I use often, like my Bible study stuff, or in my little pocket calendar or whatever. I have those pens. Well, I had one on the table next to me with this notepad in the living room, and I look and I'm like, where's my pen? And my husband's like, oh, I think I put it in the cup holder over there, because he like picked it up and used it. I go, don't use my pen. There's a whole cup holder here of pens that you can use. Like, don't use that's my pen that I keep with my stuff. And he goes, there's one of your weird, strange things. So that was a little bonus one. He's not wrong. So I hope you guys just enjoyed hearing this. It's just kind of fun. Let's just in on each other. If you do this, please let me know. And please make sure, obviously, like I said, I will have Sheila's channel linked down below. Please, direct back to her if you do this tag, because she's the one who decided to start it up, and she's amazing, and I definitely want her to get the credit for it. So yeah, so if you decide to do it, please let me know, and I definitely want to watch. Or if you just want to leave me down in the comments, if you don't have a channel or don't want to do a video or whatever, if you've got some weird, strange things about you that you want to share. I would love to read them. Or maybe you have some that are the same as mine. Please let me know if you do, so we can be weird and strange together. Okay? Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Sheila, for doing this. You're amazing. I absolutely love you. And yes, my sweet Sheila. She calls me her darling Danielle, and I just love that. Sentiments like that are very meaningful to me. So thank you, Sheila. And thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.